Jimmy Thang from Maximum PC here at E3 2014. I'm here at KOR FX's booth. I'm here speaking with Shahryar. Is that right?
Shahryar Abdar.
Shahryar, I knew I was going to butcher that. And Shahryar, you have a pretty interesting vest to show off here that I believe does stuff with haptic feedback, so it gives you the impression that you're experiencing bullet shots and explosions and things like that.
Right. Yeah, KOR FX is a immersive gaming vest. It's a device that you put on. It's basically almost like a half vest. When you put it on, it provides acousto-haptic feedback from the actual game. So it takes the audio in, produces tiny little vibrations in sync with the audio that you're hearing, and we figured out how the brain interprets those vibrations, and all of a sudden the magic of feeling inside the game happens. You feel literally stuff happening to you personally.
Okay, and can you actually show us the chest mount in the back there?
Sure.
You can pick it up, maybe show us how it works. And
of course. So here's the vest itself. As you can see, it's got two parts, the front part and the back part. And you literally wear it like this. Like that, so it goes over your chest.
Okay. And
you bring up the strap from the side. You tighten it to desired pressure. And down here, as you see, there are these two transducers that sit right flush on the top of your chest, and they produce stereo signals from the actual audio coming from the signal, but they're haptic feedbacks. They're very high definition feedbacks, so you can produce very subtle effects or you can produce very powerful effects like shotguns and explosions, depending on the actual content. The way it works is you literally turn it on. We decided to make it voice command sound so you can actually hear what it's doing. So it says it's on. So these are various effects that we have in there, and we just increased it to the maximum expansion. That means that it produces the highest separation of channels, and you can actually feel directionality a lot better with that setting. We've also got various modes. They're called filters. So these are different settings for various types of games, FPS games, and we explain that in our website as to which ones are best for what types. And you set them at that, and once you plug in your audio from the dongle side, so there is a dongle as well. Let me show you the dongle. So the dongle basically is the brains of the operation. It takes in audio input from whatever source you have. It's a simple 3.5 mil connection, like a headphone jack. It goes into your dongle like this. It's a line in. There is a power. This is for power for now. It's a USB port that gives power, but it's also battery operated. If you wanted to use it with battery, 4 AA batteries would take care of this. So once you do that, you turn on the device and you bind it. Binding is basically like any other controller binding to a wireless system. You bind your Xbox
it's like Bluetooth controller or something.
It's proprietary RF signal for us. Okay. And you press this button there and it binds, and you're good to go. In terms of the adjustments, you can adjust the intensity of the vibrations here. It also has a specific mode. If I keep pressing this button, you may not hear this, but it's producing a vibration here that allows me to place the transducers to the maximum settings of my anatomy on my body, so I feel more comfortable. In fact, the transducers are on a railing, so they can actually move back and forth a little bit laterally on the side, so you feel a lot more comfortable. And once you set it, you're done. You set it and forget it. You basically put this setting at the beginning, and you just keep plug and play games, and whatever game it is, you will be able to enjoy it in a flash.
Cool. Can you talk about how the device is able to translate audio into vibrations? Can you sort of talk about how that works, like bullets and...
Right. So when I invented this, I was thinking about what is the easiest and less complicated process by which the consumer can enjoy games and get the feedbacks without having to worry about drivers and installments and so on and so forth. We made it universal. So we made sure that we do the hard work of figuring out what, the audio comes in, it's the easiest thing to plug into it. The hard work of figuring out what haptic signal exists in the audio is being processed here. We've got proprietary chipset and millions of lines of algorithm that in an instant figures out what needs to be done and produces what we call acousto-haptic events that then the brain interprets that, oh my goodness, I got just shot on the right hand side from sniper.
Okay, and then as I understand it, the haptic feedback is only on the chest area.
Right. Right. So that's the magic. That's sort of what happens here in terms of the brain interpretation. You've got only 2 spots here, but these 2 spots are strategic.
Can you show us where the spots are on the...
Absolutely. So let me show you basically where it is on the body. So you've got the transducers right there. This is one and this is the other.
Gotcha.
And this sit flush on the chest itself.
Okay.
But the magic actually happens not here. It happens right here in the brain. The brain does the trick. Here's what happens. If you do this and say something out loud, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you will feel the vibrations of your own voice cords on the chest. So what happens is the brain is used to this pattern of vibration being from me, from the cells. So what we do is simulate that. The brain thinks it's still me. It's me feeling it, me doing it, and you immediately internalize the experience and it becomes immersive because of it. So the brain is the real hardware here. We just trigger it. We figured out how to make it work.
So do you guys have any other plans to add more of those vibration modules, or is 2 pretty much all you need? Right,
so that's pretty much all we need. Amazing, but it's really how the brain works. If you do it right, the brain interprets things as happening behind you, on the right, on the left, all over 360. And the reason for that is because the plane of the ears are basically at the same plane as the transducers. That's how it's been designed. So the muscle memory of the brain is all around your head for 35 years, however long your age is. It has been designed that way. So the brain immediately interprets when you're turning around in a game and you don't see the stimulus in front of you, you feel it as having emanated from behind you. And it's immediate. It's nothing that you have to think about. It's interpreted. It's the part of the limbic system. It's incredibly fast. It's 300 times faster than your usual hearing or even visual perception. So it's one of the ancient parts of the brain that are about the fight or flight mechanisms, and it's visceral because of it.
Yeah, I had the, prior to this talk, I had the chance to try it out with Counter-Strike Source. And, the one interesting thing about the device is that it actually works, to my understanding, with all games right out of the box type of thing.
It does.
Because it just turns the audio and it amplifies it into a vibration.
Correct.
And so when I was playing the game, like, I'd be firing my assault rifle, and I definitely feel it. And then towards the end, I was supposed to defuse a bomb.
Yes.
And then I was, trying to defuse the bomb. It was ticking. I had about I was almost there. I could see it within exactly. And then about a second before I could defuse it, it exploded, and I really felt like I was in an explosion.
Yes.
Yeah. So having said that, there's still probably some tweaks that can be done.
There's a ton of things. We've just scratched the surface. We are on Kickstarter to release the first version of this, which is universally applicable for everything. We wanted to make sure that we get feedback from the community out there to give us understanding of what they like, what they didn't like, what types of effects they want. We have a slew of library of effects that we can actually incorporate if we have developer support. Basically, we can produce G-forces, sensations of motion, vertical G-forces, all kinds of things like that, sensations of stuff happening from the screen hitting you, that sort of lag from the screen to you, and you feel stuff coming literally out of the screen. We have that in our international patents, but we need to be able to incorporate those after we get the feedback from the community on the Kickstarter. Once we service them, we figure everything else together, and we literally put our SDK around those ideas to make sure that the developers and early adopters have the ability to incorporate some of these ideas into their indie games.
Cool. And are you guys talking with like this device? It seems like it would go hand in hand with something like the Oculus Rift.
Absolutely.
Are you guys talking with them at all? Or?
We are always talking with everybody. It's one of those things that we are at the sort of intersection of all things entertainment, because it's audio driven. Anything that has to do with gaming, music, and movies, we are there, and that also includes virtual reality. what we have brought to the table on that scene is virtual feeling. We have produced this ability to virtually feel stuff that happens in the game. We've obviously got virtual reality optics in terms of Oculus, Morpheus, and even Glyph. These are products that are out there producing the best possible visual scenery, but we're adding that extra element of interactivity and ability to feel the stuff in there. Once you've taken care of the 3D virtual reality presence, then the next thing that's missing is, well, you know, feeling.
The sense of touch, right?
The sense of the touch, absolutely.
Cool, and you guys are, I believe that so this thing runs on the PC in addition to all the consoles and stuff like that, but I believe I heard that on the PC, if you have a dedicated sound card, it might actually make the experience better.
Absolutely. The sound card can in fact have our chipset on it. That means that it takes care of all of the GPU analysis related to the audio calculations that we do to extract information. Right now we are limited in terms of amount of work that we can do because the chipset we have has a certain amount of power. But once we throw it on a sound card, the amount of analysis that we can do on it is incredible and much faster than what we're doing. So we can do the types of things I was talking about, the tagging and G-forces and things like that.
Are you familiar with AMD's surround audio?
Absolutely, yes.
Have you been working with them at all? Does that help?
That's a proprietary. Unfortunately, that's under confidentiality. I cannot discuss those things much, but we are, yes, absolutely interested in those types of connections. Sure.
Cool, and I know you mentioned this before. You guys are on Kickstarter. To my knowledge, you guys launched it, opened it up 2 days ago.
Yes.
Yet you guys are almost halfway. Is that right? Of your goal?
Yes. So far, we are halfway. Thank you so much for all the supporters out there, and those who haven't supported us, please do so because we need your support. We need to get this out in the market. We need the community's feedback, literally, to let us know what it feels like because it almost is as though you've discovered a new sense. What do you do with this new sense? It's almost like the spidey senses. You're feeling the stuff out there that you can't see, but you know it's there. So it gives you this incredible reach out there. We want the community to tell us, okay, this is what else I want to do with it. This is what else I can do with it. Both in games, movies, and music. So the sky is the limit, literally, as to what types of color palette we have available to us for this amazing canvas.
Okay, cool. And then readers can and viewers can check out your Kickstarters at KOR FX. Is that right? KOR,
so it's KOR-F as in Freddy, X as in X-ray. So KOR FX.
Cool. Well, we look forward to seeing what becomes of it.
Thank you so much.